Hello, we're Jacob and Jenny, and we have arrived in Salzburg, Austria.
It's a beautiful day, and we just cannot wait to start exploring this beautiful historic town. Even just walking from the train station, like the first view that you get of the city is so beautiful. You have just walking along the river and you get just the panoramic view of the historic buildings. So Salzburg is a very, very old city. It was originally established by the Romans here and got its name and its wealth from the salt trade. So a lot of the area around here has a lot of salt mines, and as the merchants would try and get their salt down the river, the guards set up a toll where they would have to pay the city of Salzburg to get their salt from here to the rest of the world. And back in those days, salt was a big deal. Very expensive. That is what gave the city its wealth, that they could build all these magnificent buildings and then also have some famous residents come later, like Mozart, who you can see in the statue behind me.
So Salzburg is known as the Rome of the North, and you can definitely see that in the architecture. It definitely has that Italian influence to it. So just behind me is the Salzburg Cathedral, and it is known for being one of the first Baroque style buildings north of the Alps. Also noteworthy for being the place that Mozart was baptized. As you can see, it is very stunning from any vantage point around the square. We did want to go inside, but they do charge to go inside, and so because we've seen a lot of churches before, we decided to skip it. So one thing you could pretty much see everywhere in the city is the fortress that sits atop this hill here. It did help prevent this city from being taken over for a very long time. Tomorrow we hope to be able to take a tour to see the fortress if we have enough time. And get a better understanding of the history of Salzburg. So even though Salzburg is a smaller city, you can still go through winding roads and you find yourselves on different types of squares. There's one square that has an open air market that was actually operating still today, even though it's kind of evening and cold. And then you can turn down pedestrian streets with all the stores. And I just am so looking forward to getting the chance to go into all these stores. They just seem a little bit more authentic to the area than some of the more touristy stores we've seen in other places. That's so cute. Oh, I love that sweater. Oh, so far I can tell that Salzburg is just a very charming, very cute city that I cannot wait to explore more. It is getting dark now, so I don't know how much we're going to explore too much longer tonight, but we're definitely going to pick up tomorrow. We decided to warm up a bit and get a beer, which I know doesn't sound very warm, but anything inside right now is just nice.
We're here at the Augustiner Brew House, which is actually a church. The monks make the beer here. Oh man, they only have one type of beer, but it comes directly out of a barrel. It's very good beer and just a great atmosphere of everyone drinking their beers, having a good old time. It's a huge, huge place.
We were a little confused at first because it's not just sit down and you order a beer. You go to a counter, you pay for your beer, then you get this mug, and then you take your mug to the person who fills up the beer. And there's only one beer that you can get. So it's like you have your little slip, they fill up your mug, and then you just keep going and paying for as many beers as you want. And there's also some food options. Again, that's kind of like counter. So you go up to the counter, you pay for what you want, they give it to you, and then you just bring it somewhere in the hall. So there's no service to your table, which is a little bit different than a lot of the other ones we've been to in Munich so far. Everything is just kind of you buy it, and then you come and you sit in the hall and take your time.
Good morning again. Got a little dark on us last night, so we just went back. But we're back here for our second day in Salzburg. Of course, we had to start up with a nice warm glass of coffee, which actually, here they call it a melange, and it kind of melted, but they put whipped cream in it, which gives it an extra little creaminess. But it's a good way to start the day. Nice and warm. It is quite chilly out.
So we are now at the Fortress Hohensalzburg, the fortress at the top of the hill that we were just admiring yesterday. And I'm excited to see what we're going to see at the fortress, but I also think it might just be worth it for this incredible view of the city. It is just breathtaking up here. You can see like mountains, and then there's also like a whole other side of the city. Man, it is like a postcard. It is so beautiful. It's a postcard.
So to get up here, there's actually two different ways. You can do like what we did and take the kind of easy shortcut way of taking the funicular kind of tram up the mountain. That's the easy way. Or you can actually walk up the kind of a path to get up here.
So part of this is used as a prison, and it's also a fortress. And I had to admire all the people who were here working, and so the prisoners here must have been miserable because it is cold in here even when it's all bundled up.
The castle has what was known as the Salzburg Bowl, and that is the series of horns. They would play it several times a day. I think it's still played a few times a day. This is just kind of a miniature version of it here. But at 4 a.m. every day, they would wake up the entire town with that sound. And then at 7 p.m. they'd play it again, and everyone know their day of work is done. I can't imagine getting woken up by that every morning at 4 a.m. Whew.
I think that it's worth it to take the time to come up here just for the views. If you don't want to stay too long, you can probably just come up, enjoy the views, take a nice break from, all your shopping and your eating, and just come see the city from a different angle. So this was an awesome trip to come see some incredible views of Salzburg, but I think our next stop might be a little bit more refreshing. So we are now at the Stiegel Brewery, and we are going to get a tour. Cheers. Prost.
Barley is an ancient cultivated plant and, apart from water, the main raw material for beer production. The beer noisily bids farewell to the brewery.
Man, if you work here, can't beat that view. Seen an operation quite as big as this, and we very often ever see the bottle line actually running. We had gone to like some smaller factories, and whenever we've been there, we haven't actually gotten to see it, or it's like a Saturday and they're not working or something. So this is a first for us. It's very new. We had an awesome time at our Stiegel tour.
Man, that was a great tour. That is one of the better brewery tours I think I've been on.
We don't often go on some of like the bigger production tours. We often go on a lot of smaller like craft breweries.
Right.
So it was a little bit different in that regard, that we got to just see like more in depth.
And we got 3 different beers throughout the trip. All 3 were just
So good.
so good.
Yeah.
Yes. but I think now we're hungry.
Right. It's been a while. If
Yeah.
you can't tell. It's been a while since we've eaten, so I think we need to go at least get some sort of snack.
Yeah, some sort of snack. All right, back to the old town. So now we had all our beers. We need a little bit of treat. This isn't that filling, but when you come to Salzburg, you're gonna see these everywhere. They're called Mozartkugels or Mozart balls. There's a bunch of places to get them. The original is supposed to be from Fürst. These things were created in 1890, so there is a lot of history behind these. They've been around for a long time. He really tried to kind of capitalize on that Mozart image and the connection with the city to kind of market them, but they are a Salzburg classic now. Let's see if I can open it. Ooh. So you can see it has a nice dark chocolate exterior, and inside it's supposed to be a center of marzipan, pistachio, and nougat. So I'm looking forward to see what the inside of this really tastes like. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely get some of that almondy flavor from the marzipan. I don't know if I can taste the pistachio that much. A little bit kind of the grittiness from the nougat. It looks like there's kind of a hard outer chocolate shell and then a bit of a kind of a lighter chocolate in between before you get to the center. It's a pretty good, nice little treat.
It's really good. I like it a lot. Not that we need it, but we're gonna try a punch while we're in this area. It tastes like hot tang. We got one of the, we went to Spore, it's insane in there, and my German isn't that great. But we went to get punches, and their like holiday special right now is like a hot, cup of punch. And I probably mentioned this earlier, but I'm not like a huge fruity hot drink fan. It's actually not too like bad for me though. It just tastes like a hot orange tang, if you've ever had tang before. If you like a hot citrusy drink, I think this would be a little dangerous because it doesn't taste like alcohol.
Ooh, this smells good. So we stopped and got an actual bit of food. There's a little stand in this small corridor in the middle of a building. You really have to know where you're going to get there. We kind of went around in circles on Google Maps trying to find it, but they just serve one type of sausage, and you can get it with a few different types of toppings. We just got the original. Oh, and it smells so good. There's a bit of like a curry spice seasoning to it that you could just it just pops right in your nose, and I'm pretty excited. The first thing you notice is just like the crunch of the bread on the outside. It's nice crispy bread, and then the sausage is just so well cooked and so flavorful. Oh, such a nice porky seasoned curry flavor, and it's very nice and warm and perfect for a day like this. And this really hits the spot.
So we were ready to eat some cake and have some coffee. This area is known, Austria is really well known for their kind of cake cafe scene.
So we're basically back where we started this morning. While we were eating breakfast, they have display cases of all of their cakes, and they just look so good. But we weren't sure about eating cake for breakfast, so we just had to come back and get them for ourselves.
So I got the Tomaselli cake, which is the cafe that we're at now, and then Jacob got an apple strudel. I'll try my cake first. It's like Sort of almondy. Maybe caramel? That's a solid kick.
I'm pretty excited about this apple strudel. Got a little bit of a crunch right there on the kind of crispy bread on the outside. Oh, the apple is so nice. It tastes like foam. I love it. I love appley desserts, and oh man, this just hits the spot.
We had an awesome time in Salzburg and can't believe it's already come to an end.
Oh man, it's a just lovely town. I could spend a long time here just strolling up and down the streets, eating all the amazing food.
Yeah.
And there's just so much that we haven't even seen. This is where the Sound of Music takes place. So if you love that movie, we don't really care for it that much, so we didn't take the time. But if you love that movie like a lot of people do, you can take a whole tour to go see all of the different filming sites and relive those wonderful memories from that movie.
Oh, but for now we have some other cities that we have to get to, so long.
Farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you next time.